Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sabir. I'm the chairman of Pykus Therapeutics. Delighted to be here today. Pykus is a spin-out from the Mass Eye and Ear Institute in Boston. And the mission of Pykus is actually very simple, and that is to completely transform the way that patients experience recovery post-retinal surgery. As many of you may know, a retinal tear or a break is a very serious medical condition that requires immediate surgery, otherwise vision loss can result. And Pykus was started by two residents at the time at the Mass Eye and Ear who observed that although retinal surgery is generally very successful, the patients post-surgery experience what they often term as the worst week of their life. The reason for that is once a retinal break is repaired, the tear needs to be tamponaded with what's usually used as a gas bubble, and the patient therefore has to position face down for about a week. They have very poor vision for a month or two. They can't travel, and if an alternative tamponade like an oil is used because gas is not feasible, then they need a second surgery to remove the oil. So as bright-eyed, bushy-tailed residents who had not much else to do during their time there, they decided that there must be a better way, and they came up with PYK-1105, which is a focal retinal sealant that essentially allows the patient to have no post-operative positioning, clear vision immediately after surgery. They can travel, and no removal surgery is required. So essentially the complete opposite of how recovery takes place today. We really think this is a transformative advance, and the way the technology works, it's an epoxy-like polymer that is applied focally to the retinal break during surgery. I'm going to see if I can get this animation to work. It's injected as a liquid. It then cures in situ. It holds the break together, and then about 4 weeks after it's been administered, it breaks down and is cleared from the eye. The company's put together a really excellent scientific advisory board. Dean Elliott is the director of Retina at Harvard. Carl O. Darius Moshfeghi is the director of Retina at Stanford, and Tarek Hassan, all KOLs in the field of retinal surgery. And I think all truly believe that this is going to be a real change in the way these procedures are performed. The company has conducted a pilot adaptive clinical study. 7 patients have been treated with this technology so far. The first 3 patients, the eye was actually filled with the gel, about 4 mils of gel post procedure. And those 3 patients had some issues with IOP, and therefore the approach was modified to reflect the focal approach that I told you about just now. 4 patients have been treated with that approach, and I think the most remarkable thing that we observed from these cases is that all 4 patients had better than expected vision following the surgery. They also had no inflammation or toxicity. There was some very mild transient elevation in IOP, less than 24 hours, about 4 weeks after surgery when the gel cleared. And we've essentially identified that that happened due to a formulation issue. So we've adjusted that, and the plan is, let me see if I can get this video to run. No. Oops. Okay. This is an image of one of our patients post-surgery. You can see on the left that there's a complete retinal detachment. This patient can only experience hand movements, light perception, and 5 days after surgery, they had 20/40 vision, which was pretty exciting. We're now planning to do a 10-patient crossover study in Q1 of next year, which will give us additional efficacy data and confirm there are no IOP issues with the new formulation. And we'll initiate a 240-subject pivotal study in Q4 2023 with a PMA submission expected in 2025. As well as retinal breaks and retinal tears, we also believe there's significant other applicability for this technology, including macular holes, and we're also looking at ways to load drug into this gel to be able to deliver certain therapeutics on an extended release basis. We also think that there's a pretty attractive reimbursement story here for the surgical application, and so we expect the market size to be pretty significant, and I look forward to coming back this time next year and telling you about the results from our next studies. So thank you very much.